This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Man, the baseball going down the stretch was compelling, Jamie, and it's crazy what we saw in the American League with Cleveland taking the division in the Central after being 15.5 back in July and 10.5 back on the 1st of September. They win the division by 1 over Detroit. Toronto and New York finish up in a tie in the East, and the head-to-head goes to the Blue Jays, and so the Yankees now face the Red Sox in the first round.
Yeah, they're tied for the best record, but they end up being the 4 seed.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Astros. I wouldn't call their failure to make the playoffs a collapse like I would the Mets. They just got injured and beat up.
Yeah, there's just too many injuries that caught up with them.
Yeah, just too many. They end up. Maybe the shocking thing is based on where they started the month of September, and they finish up 3 behind Seattle. I think it speaks to what Seattle did.
Really it does. Mariners are a hot team heading into the postseason.
Down the stretch, they end up winning 90 ball games, and they were in a fight for a wild card spot, frankly. Going into the last month of the season, and then the Mets. I mean, the Mets finished 13 back of Philadelphia, but man, they were in control of their own destiny, and so they failed to make the playoffs with that huge payroll. And Cincinnati slides in there to take the last wild card spot in the National League and puts themselves in the playoffs. I mean, they got to be just happy to be there, probably. I'm sure that
probably so.
I'm sure that they're going to say, "Well, hey, we're happy to be here" and all that kind of stuff. But we got a
chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's postseason now, and everybody's 0-0, and you never know what happens.
So you've got the playoffs will begin tomorrow. Detroit's at Cleveland, San Diego's at Chicago, Boston is at New York, and Cincinnati is at Los Angeles tomorrow. Man, it's there's a lot of great matchups in this. Do you favor Cleveland, or do you favor Cleveland coming out of this?
In the American League?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I have no clue.
It's kind of wide open, isn't it?
I mean, Cleveland has the 1, 2, 3, 4th best record. Why you go into them just because they've been hot? They've been hot.
Probably if I should go to anybody, I should go to Seattle. But then, you look at what Toronto did as well to kind of hold everybody off. I mean, they've got a lot of playoff experience, and now they have a chance to get rested, so to speak, as they'll sit back and wait, as will the Mariners. Maybe the shocking thing is that the Dodgers have to play in this.
Yeah, no doubt.
In this early series, right?
Sure, that they weren't one of the top 2 seeds. In the West, in the National League.
Yeah, and so they'll have to. And sometimes, man, it's weird how this works, because if they go on to win, they say, well, having to play early, we kept us in our routine. We didn't sit around and wait. We didn't get, fat and happy, so to speak. But I'm sure you'd like to have some rest, right?
I'm sure you would want to rest your pitching staff, no doubt.
Yeah. So you got Philly and Milwaukee that will wait winners there in the National League. If you just kind of looked at it, or would you say Seattle, or would you say Toronto? Would you say Milwaukee, Dodgers, Philadelphia in the World Series?
I think when you're talking about the American League, I think it's a complete toss-up as far as who's coming out of the American League. I guess I would lean towards Milwaukee. They've been the best team for quite a while. I know they're not the hottest team like Cleveland, but they're the most consistent team all season long. Look like they're healthy, so I probably would lean towards, trusting the team that's been the best all year long.
Do you like that they've taken away the one-game playoff, the 163? Or would you have liked to have seen New York and Toronto play for the top spot in a one-game play.
They've put the rules in place. I'm fine with it. You got to live with it. Game 163s were always exciting. No question about it. But boy, it would really put that team, whoever lost 163, in a tough spot going into the wild card.
Yeah.
So I understand why they don't have it. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's just it speaks to the in-season games that you've got to win those.
Yeah, I don't
win the series.
As a Yankees fan, I don't hate that as much as I mean, they won the tiebreaker. I get it. They deserve the spot. I hate being, you have the best record in the American League, and yet you got teams like, Seattle, who are 4 games behind you, that gets the bye. I hate that. You know what I mean?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You're playing in the toughest division by far in the American League. There's 3 teams from the AL East that are in the postseason. You're playing in the toughest division. You have the best record, yet Seattle, who is in the weakest division in the American League, and that surely factored into their 90-72 record, gets a bye even though they're 4 games behind you. But again, you didn't hear me complaining about this last year. Okay, or if that's ever been a case. I don't know if a team with the best record is ultimately had to slid to the 4 spot because it's they're tied. But it is what it is. The rules have been in place, and so I'm not been out of shape about it. It's just unfortunate.
It's kind of like the NFL when you have a team that wins its division, and we've seen this. They might have a 9-8 record or whatever, and they're
hosting a team with a much better record.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
and that's the situation you have.
Them's the rules, right?
Yep, and then you play another. Those wild card games could go either way, so it should be fun. These wild card matchups, I think, in both leagues.
And the Mets only have themselves to blame. Because they finished 83-79, and Cincinnati had the same record, but Cincinnati had the tiebreak. And Cincinnati went 7-3 down the stretch. The thing that's interesting is both teams lost yesterday.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the Mets had won and Cincinnati had lost, then the Mets move on, and the Cincinnati was in the position of, we go into that series. All we got to do is hope that the Mets don't win, or we win. And then we move on. So they were in the kind of the catbird seat this morning.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Final Monday in September the 29th, 2025. Here is Jeff McGuire.
1913 is where we will start, gentlemen, with the Washington Senator Walter Johnson winning his 36th game of the year.
Wow.
It's impressive.
1954, today, Willie Mays makes his famous over-the-shoulder catch of Cleveland Indians' Vic Wertz's 460-yard fly ball in Game 1 of the World Series at the Polo Grounds in New York City.
Considered one of the greatest catches, right?
Oh, yeah. In any other ballpark, that's gone.
I think 460 feet.
Yeah.
Not yards.
You said yards.
Did I say yards?
Yeah.
It was still gone, okay? No matter what.
What's crazy is this popped up somewhere. Things just pop up. This was an old-timers game from when Willie Mays was 50. And it shows him going after a catch in left center field. And he makes this basket catch, going towards the left field foul pole, and then goes to the ground and kind of hurts himself a little bit. But just the fact that he was sprinting and catching a ball and making a catch, it's I immediately thought of the Vic Wertz, and he almost doubled off the guy in second base. But
pretty crazy.
And everybody wearing a white shirt and tie at that World Series game. All the men, short sleeve shirt, black tie.
Chuck would have felt right at home.
I would have felt right at home. Although I don't wear the short sleeve shirt.
Okay. 1966. Sandy Koufax pitches his third 300 strikeout season. 1976. I don't know if this move is going to work out for him. Tommy Lasorda replaces Walter Alston as the Los Angeles Dodgers' new manager. I don't know about this one. We're going to have to keep an eye on this guy. Seems like he likes lasagna a little too much.
Anybody who likes lasagna too much is a little bit scary.
1985. Baltimore Oriole manager Earl Weaver is ejected from both games of a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium. If this sounds somewhat familiar, it is. He is the only manager in baseball to ever be tossed out of 2 games in a day twice.
Nice.
That's funny.
And in 2007, Michael Crabtree 3 touchdown catches gives him a freshman record tying 14 in 5 games as Texas Tech beats Northwestern State 75-7. Chuck,
Cup of coffee?
raise your glass.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Coffee Day.
Happy Coffee Day. Okay. Happy Coffee Day.
Hey,
Nice.
Current Houston Rocket Kevin Durant turns 38 today.
Wow.
That he's a current Houston Rocket or that he's 38?
38.
yes.
The answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
Zachary Levi is 45. Ian McShane is 83. Calvin Johnson is 40. And Ken Norton Jr. is 59. He got a shout out on the Cowboys broadcast last night.
Did he really?
Because the center for the Eagles, who was the center for the Chiefs, was the second player ever to win 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Okay.
Ken Norton Jr. was the first. 2 with Dallas and 1 with the 49ers.
Yeah. Okay.
And on this day, 1988, Stacey Allison of Portland, Oregon, becomes the very first American woman to reach the summit of Mount Everest, 29,039 feet above sea level, highest point on Earth, as we all know. She was a member of the Northwest American Everest Expedition and climbed the Himalayan peak using the Southeast Ridge route.
I don't care what route you use.
As long as you don't just parachute on top of it.
You get there, man. You get there.
And that is this day in sports history.
Even that seems like it would be a little bit crazy to parachute and land there.
Yes.
I feel like that when the airplane's doing all the work and you're just making sure you land in the right spot.
I don't know. It's a
But-
slippery slope, I'm sure.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, right. By the way, in case you missed this last night, the 40-40 tie was the second highest scoring tie in pro football history. It will be the highest in the National Football League. The Raiders and the Boston Patriots, which is what the New England Patriots were called before, they just decided to encompass all of New England, played to a 43-43 tie in 1964. Okay. Wow. How about that?
About it.
It's 43-43. The Cowboys game last night, if you missed it, 40-40 at the end. So neither side seemed happy last night.
Well, they shouldn't have been.
Yeah. But sometimes, sometimes ties, there's a team that feels like they blew it, and then there's a team like, okay, hey,
Green Bay should be
happy to get out of here with a tie.
Green Bay should be feeling like they should have won, that they were a better team than what they showed. And Dallas should be saying, we had every opportunity to win this game, and we kept giving it back to them. Mm-hmm. We had a 2-point conversion for us on their touchdown, and they ended up tying this
And that was
game.
a beautiful block.
It was a great block.
It was a beautiful, beautiful block.
But you want to know why I can't get on board of sunshine pumping this Cowboys team, Chuck?
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is really where it comes down to. They're 23rd in run defense for yardage. 23rd. They are 29th in giving up rushing touchdowns. There's only 3 teams worse than them, giving up more rushing touchdowns than they are. Now, they make up for this by being the worst in the NFL in passing yardage, yards per attempt, and they're tied for worst with the Bears for most touchdowns.
Sometimes I think you just look for the worst in everything.
This is why they're not a good
With regard to
team.
the Cowboys. I know, but I mean...
The Cowboys deserved to lose that game
It was
last
a
night.
very entertaining game last night.
And they didn't, because Green Bay also deserved to lose that game last night.
Jamie, not that I'm going to fly Eagle fly all the time, but I did root for the Eagles yesterday in their game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just cannot stand Baker Mayfield. I cannot stand his antics.
He didn't disappoint and made a stupid throw there that cost him the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the Eagles are 4-0 in the season. It's crazy. They had 0 yards passing in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles, it feels like every game played poorly in one half and really well in the other half. This game, it was the first half they played well, and the second half they played bad.
Saquon Barkley, 19 carries for 43 yards. And I thought the Chiefs looked like the Chiefs yesterday. Now, bear in mind, you have to kind of tap the brakes a little bit because Baltimore is really, really dinged up, especially defensively. And they got even more dinged up in the game. Lamar Jackson ended up leaving with a hamstring injury, but frankly, the game was over at that point in time. But defensively, they were missing, I think, 4 starters, and then 3 more went down. So at the end, they were down about 7. But Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns. He looked really good. It looked a lot different having a deep threat in Xavier Worthy come in, so the Chiefs level their record at 2-2, and it is great to hear the Chiefs Radio Network on our airways yesterday on 100.7 The Score. I enjoyed listening to the game and the pregame and everything that took place. So just so you know, moving forward, we'll have all the games for the Chiefs on the Chiefs Radio Network on 100.7 The Score, just like we do with the Cowboys here on Double T 97.3. Cowboy Hour tonight at 6 on Double T 97.3. Then Monday Night Football, the Bengals and the Broncos from Denver. And then High School Fan Zone tonight at 6. Coaches from Estacado, Friendship Memorial, and Liberty, all coming into the First United Bank studio today at 6 for the High School Fan Zone.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thank you for being with us today. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It's presented by Happy State Bank. What did you think of the firing of Sam Pittman at Arkansas? It feels like that it was just the inevitable. Bobby Petrino's a snake. He's a rooster in the hen house, and now he's the interim coach at Arkansas. Who'd ever thunk that? I mean, when he came back as their OC, it's kind of like, what in the world are you doing, Sam? Hiring Bobby Petrino back when there's probably 500 people that are just as qualified as him to be an offensive coordinator. Just feels like that he's a snake in the grass.
500 seems like a really big number.
Okay.
There's 500 people out there that could be a Division I offensive coordinator.
I bet you
to compete in the SEC. 500.
Maybe a skosh high, but I bet you there's 500 OCs out there at various levels that feel like, hey, I could do just as good.
We'd have to count you in that category.
No. I don't think I have never officiated. I've never.
They can do it.
I've never put myself off as a football coach that could X and O with the best of them. Okay,
just because people think they can do it doesn't mean they'd be as good.
Anyway, what these early firings? I mean, we're seeing more and more of these. I mean, you understood the Oklahoma State one
you could see this one coming from a mile away, weeks away.
Feels like that probably should have been done in the offseason.
Maybe so.
But Bobby Petrino, and he wants to be a candidate. Shockingly, he wants to be a candidate for the head coach on a permanent basis. I got to think they can do. But I got to think they can do better than Bobby Petrino.
Not my concern.
No,
not my concern.
I know it's not.
They don't. Clearly, normal values and what they stand for and all that don't matter. It's about, can he help us win football games?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what he's done there in the past and how just pathetic that was.
Yeah.
It's Can he help us win football games?
I don't know if he can or not. Clearly they think he can. So he's the
not clearly. I mean, we'll see if they hire him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just an interim right now. He's just the guy that's got experience on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Will make the transition the smoothest until you get to the off season.
So he becomes number 4 to be fired. in the month of September. Includes Brent Pry at Virginia, Deshaun Foster at UCLA, Gundy at Oklahoma State. And the Razorbacks lost 56-13 at home to Notre Dame. Arkansas has this week off, and then they'll play at Tennessee. So it's not going to get any easier for them. So.
Yeah, these schools can quit firing coaches right now. I'd be okay with that. I like our defensive coordinator. I think he's absolutely head coach material. I don't want somebody to hire him this year.
Oh, this year? Yeah,
this year.
I don't think you have to worry about him this year. Maybe at the end of this year.
I'm sure somebody thought you weren't going to have to worry about Joey McGuire this year, and then Texas Tech hired him. So I got a lot of the more and more I hear of Sheil Wood, the more I'm going, that guy's going to be a head coach fast.
Yeah,
he will be a good one when he is one.
He is going to be a head coach.
And I don't want it to be this year.
The buyout for him is $10 million, 9.8.
For Sheil Wood?
No, for Sam Pittman. I don't know what Sheil Wood's buyout is. Okay, I have no idea.
I'm glad we're not worried about that.
We're not. No, well, not the 9.8. What did you think of Oklahoma State? I mean, they put up quite a fight, Jamie.
Yeah, it probably says a little bit about Baylor. You know, their defense not very good. I mean, never felt like Baylor was, in danger of losing
threatened
that game.
Okay.
Yeah,
they kept coming back.
Yeah, they did.
They showed resilience. They showed that they've got a pulse. I think they showed more than what people thought.
It's
still a loss. I get it.
Yeah.
It's still a loss.
Whoop-de-doo. Is that what we're looking for?
I really wasn't looking for a whoop-de-doo. I need to start looking for whoop-de-doos.
No, I mean, are we looking for resiliency? Are we looking for? No, the Oklahoma State
wins.
Folks don't feel good about it.
No.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doos. I should look for whoop-de-doos. I had a junior college coach. He would always. I'd ask him a question, and he'd say, "No question about it." So it became kind of a joke with me and a couple of my buddies. Like, "Hey, do you think you can get Coach Hetwer to say no question about it?" I said, "Oh, no question about it." And I would ask him a question that would set up, and he would respond with "No question about it," and we feel like we'd won the broadcast when he said "No question about it." It's just a private funny. But how about K-State? I mean, they win 34-20. I realize it's UCF, but I mean that shows some offense and shows some resiliency for them. I don't know if it means that they're back or anything like that, but they did win and move their record to 2-3.
Yeah, hard to gauge, but there was you didn't feel like they had packed it in or anything like that. So I'm sure the folks at K-State were glad to see that, and we'll see if they can get things turned around. Didn't really know what to expect from UCF in that game, but I don't think you look at that performance for them and go, "Oh no, they're not nearly as good as we thought they were." I mean, they still look like they're a team that can possibly get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
And good for Kansas State, because I did feel like watching the Arizona game that they just didn't look like they wanted to be there, and so. Clearly, there's some fight left there, too.
A little bit of want to.
Just like we're talking about with Oklahoma State.
Avery Johnson goes for 168 in the air, but Dylan Edwards ran for 166, so maybe that's more the concern moving forward. BYU ekes one out at Colorado 24-21, and they're ranked at 25th going into that game. So they have to score late to do it. Does that say, well, it's hard to win on the road?
It may be something to that. Colorado obviously got out to the good start. They were up 14-0 early before BYU kind of got it going and made it to 14-10 at halftime, got themselves in the game, and then kind of went back and forth a little bit after that. But, yeah, it probably does speak to the fact that it's hard to win on the road in the Big 12 Conference. But at the same time, I think, BYU, maybe one of their tougher challenges of the year so far. They don't look like world beaters either.
Yeah. And then Utah just manhandles West Virginia 48-14.
Yeah, I wondered if they would kind of be licking their wounds from the previous week, but they looked like they were angry from the previous week, and they put it on the Mountaineers. That was impressive. That was impressive.
They had 30.
Just because, again, I'm worried about their focus leading into that game,
Sure.
going on the road, and not that I think West Virginia's a great football team, because I don't, but you could see Utah was definitely dialed in.
532 yards total offense, 290 passing, 242 on the ground. They had 33 first downs in the ballgame to West Virginia's 14. Just a beat down. Mm-hmm. Just a beat down.
Yep.
All right. So, is anybody better at this point than you thought, or not as good as what you thought at this point?
We didn't even mention the game, and it's kind of ironic because I just feel like it's what's been going on all year long. I don't know why we're not giving Iowa State any credit.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's
their
on me.
Quarterback and Rocco Becht.
Yeah.
But I just feel like
I kind of glossed over that one.
Nobody in the Big 12 believes in Iowa State, and I thought that was another, comfortable, impressive win against an Arizona team that we thought was much improved, and they never challenged Iowa State at all. Yeah,
they're 5-0.
Just keep winning games and looking really good, but for whatever reason, this seemed like nobody talks about them in this conference.
Iowa State had one penalty for 5 yards.
Yeah, that'll help you win.
Pretty disciplined football team.
Yep.
And they did have one turnover in the ball game, but they took care of business against Arizona. All right, Jamie's question of the day is next. We will get to some baseball. We will get to more in the Big 12.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, the bye week is over. Time of rest, time of getting right. Even if you are already right, you can get righter.
Righter.
You can improve, you get better. Surely, with all those coaches over there, these football coaches,
Analysts.
doesn't matter how many wins you've got and how little losses you've got, there are things they want to get better. What do you hope changes after the bye week compared to what we saw through the first 4 games?
Man, the first thing that comes to my mind is your offensive line has got to be better in protecting your quarterback so that he can, I don't want to say be better, but just be better, because you got to protect him, otherwise he's going to be running for his life and puts himself in jeopardy. And so, it would help your running game, would just help you take advantage of what your defense has given you. But I think it all starts up front, because I still think there's a question mark there with your offensive line.
They need to get better at, but I also want to give credit to, in this first. Utah's crowd made your offense look silly when it came to false start penalties because they couldn't hear the count. So I want to give. I don't know how many more environments Tech is going to play like that. That was superior, and I want to give Utah credit for that. But they need to get better at making that decision faster, and maybe recognizing you can make that without having it be a halftime situation for the offense. Like the offensive guys look at each other going, "Hey, we can't hear each other. We should maybe go to a silent count that we practiced so we know what to do now." Recognition might be how I would describe this to avoid dumb penalties. But
Okay.
Again, give credit to Utah for forcing those.
We're on the same page, but Utah was not the first time you had trouble with penalties. Through 4 games, your opponents have 14 penalties against you for 100 yards. You have 37 penalties.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay? You're averaging 79 yards per game of penalty yardage. I'm just flat out just going penalties. Yeah, I mean, Utah, it became a bigger deal because you were actually challenged by a good football team. And you saw how much it held your offense back. So I'm agreeing with what you're saying, Jeff. I'm just saying it wasn't just Utah. and recognition, all that. You got to get better. You got to be more disciplined. 37 penalties in 4 games. That's a big number.
That's a big number.
We had really, really improved in this area under Coach McGuire. But so far this year, that's not been the case.
Matt says this: Utah's crowd didn't make us look silly. They were piping crowd noise through the speakers. We were there, and it was obvious. Doesn't matter. I mean, that environment created problems for you.
Yeah, no doubt. I have no idea if that's true or not, but whatever. I'm just saying. Yeah, the penalties really held you back offensively.
Got to be better.
Yeah.
Got to be better. Yeah, you got to quit shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak.
And I felt like after halftime, when they all got everybody together and went, okay, we're going to do this differently now, that they did. So they're capable of.
Well, let's tie this all together.
Are you buying any of my offensive line?
Let's tie this all together.
Okay.
Part of what the offensive line needs to improve on is penalties.
Yeah. Pre-snap,
okay?
right?
Yeah, penalties, right? Pre-snap,
starts.
I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
You can be holding, whatever.
Yeah.
Offensive line needs to improve on penalties. If you're not penalized as much, you're not playing from behind the sticks as much.
Yeah.
And guess what? Defensive lines aren't able to attack and go after your quarterback as much. They have to sit back because they don't know if you're running or you're passing, whatever. Football 101 here, okay? So cut back on the penalties of the offensive line, and it'll be easier to pass block.
Okay.
And they'll be better.
Okay.
So it all ties together.
The green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around, so to speak. Okay. Well, we solved that problem. You type that up.
No. We identified that problem.
Yeah,
we haven't solved anything.
We don't solve anything.
Type that up in a memo and send it over to football this morning.
If they need us to tell them that, we need to be looking for a new head coach.
They probably already figured that out.
Coach McGuire's good and frustrated about that.
Yeah, probably already figured that out. Probably already looked at that. And went, okay, Captain Obvious morning drive. Yeah, we're working on that. What else you got?
I don't even think we deserve Captain Obvious for that one. This might be Private Obvious for this one.
Somebody says this: we still had several false starts in the third quarter. Yeah. I mean, it was. It has been a problem.
That texter's point was that it didn't get it recognized at halftime, and suddenly you fixed it.
Yeah.
No, but it felt like it was every other play and it wasn't. But it felt like that it was that egregious in the first half.
Yeah.
I can handle, and I say this, I can deal with an occasional guy's excited and jumps a little early for a false start on the offensive line, or he knows that the pass rush is coming his way, so he's really going to be focused. Every one, a couple of times a half, while it's frustrating, they're trying. I get it was bad in the first half.
It's such a buzzkill though when you get those penalties. Man, it feels like just some of the air comes out of the balloon, so to speak. And there's sometimes when the whole balloon just pops and it just gets flat. Anything? Are you less concerned about the same? Is there anything that really concerns you about Houston from Saturday? From their game last Friday?
Yeah, I'm at about the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're an improved football team.
But this is more about you than it is about them?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I look at the schedule the rest of the way, and I think you're better than every team that you're playing. So a little bit, it's about you more than the opponent. And that you're going to have to help out some teams if you're going to lose to them. Okay, you're going to have to play poorly, and like having 14 penalties like you did against Utah.
Right.
That would be considered helping out.
Sure.
Okay, so I feel like you're more talented. I think you probably are going to need to beat yourself a little bit to lose to some of these teams. That's not saying that BYU and Arizona State aren't good football teams. I just don't think they're as good as you are.
Yeah,
Kansas State, I'll throw them in the mix too.
I can buy what you're selling there.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hour 3 of 3 of this spectacular, fine program that we highly produce each and every day for you. Bring you thrilling content, tidbits, Stuff that you need to know and don't want to know every single morning from 6 until 9. More in the morning, every morning. Okay? Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. Come to you from the First United Bank studio. We'll have a high school fan zone tonight at 6. Coaches from Estacado, Friendship Memorial, and Liberty all coming through the door to speak with you and to you and providing you with nuggets of information about their young athletes at their various schools. No school today for the LISD kids. I don't know about Memorial and Friendship and Liberty. Liberty and Lubbock Cooper, they don't have any school today. I know that for sure. So some kind of teacher work day. So all the children will be out and about, so be careful if you see them playing in the streets. Okay? Just be careful. I mean, sometimes they run wild in the streets, and, our neighbor, Caddy Corner across from us, has a little thing that they put out just to kind of remind people to slow down, which is nice.
Yeah.
You see that and go, okay, man, the kids must be out, which is good.
The last time I saw kids playing in the street, there's no hockey going on or
that's disappointing.
Basketball or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Liberty is 5-0 after their victory this past weekend on Friday night, so they're smoking it. They won at Fort Stockton. They're just ripping right through the season. And so Lubbock Cooper, they had a little bit of a problem Friday night. They lost at Plainview 37-22. That was a surprise.
That was a big surprise.
Especially coming off of their big win over Friendship. So maybe a little letdown there. 56-0 was the Liberty score at Fort Stockton. And so they'll be...
the long drive didn't bother them.
Not at all. Coronado remains winless. They're 0-5. They got smoked by Tascosa 65-28. That's disappointing. And Lubbock High was idle. Those are among the scores. Ropes was a winner, Jamie. They beat Fort Sand.
Way to go, Ropes.
59-0. They're 4-1 on the season. New Home, they spanked Roscoe 30-3. They're now 4-1 on the season. Idalou was a winner over Shallow Water. They're now 3-2 on the season. Those are among the scores for you. So we'll be going over that kind of stuff tonight on the High School Fan Zone. We'll also have Cowboy Hour tonight at 6 on Double T 97.3. Brad Sham. Don't know who his player guest will be, but it's always interesting, fascinating.
It's a Kissing Sister Monday.
It's a Kissing Sister Monday. Okay. Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
Ties like
is
kissing your sister.
That I know that phrase, but I don't know where it's from. And I know what it means. I know where I know it from. I know it from NCIS because one of the characters went to Ohio State and ran into a Michigan guy, and they talked about a basketball game where they kissed their sisters, where it was a tie basketball game.
What?
That's the story from the show. I don't know if it's accurate. I didn't look it up, but that's how I know the phrase.
Basketball?
I'm just telling you how I know the story, okay? I know it's not the actual story, but it has come up like 15 times in the last 2 weeks. The phrase, kissing your sister. And I know what it means. It means a tie, that you feel terrible about it, that this is a disgusting thing.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird that it has just been the phrase that's been around my world. Maybe I'm just paying attention to it more?
According to AI, the phrase kissing your sister describes something neutral, unexciting, or unsatisfying, particularly used in sports to convey the unpopularity of a tie. For example, an American football coach once stated a tie is like kissing your sister.
Yeah, but what football coach?
We all knew that. We all knew that. I don't know which coach. Let's see. The origin of... I don't want to get into all that. Anyway. Viva73 says the first one I ever heard say it was Darryl Royal. Okay.
I think that's where I feel like it's attributed to him saying it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like something Coach Royal would say. This Ropes has come a long way. We were 6-man when I went to high school there, and it's cool to see us dominating schools that have been at this level for a while. Okay. This from Bobby Hot Dogs. The children on Chuck Street probably play in all of the grass clippings in the street. They like to make grass clipping castles and have grass clipping ball fights. Yeah, there's probably some truth to that. This new generation won't be out and about. They'll be in the house staring at their phones or playing games. D-Rock says looks like friendship is in school today.
I believe my child is going to school today.
At least that's what she's telling you. Okay, but you don't have any worries there, do you?
I got lots of worries, man. I got a teenage daughter, dude. Yeah. They never stop worrying.
Okay, that's true.
Or scratching my head, or putting my earplugs in, or
let me tell you,
wishing we were out of the teenage years.
Some of that never goes away, Jimmy. I'm just telling you, as they get to become adults, and then real adults, then it doesn't necessarily go away. Go ahead.
Going back to the grass clippings just very quickly.
Sure.
I saw something last week, and I've been meaning to ask you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this reminded me to ask you. I know blowing the grass clippings in the street is your biggest pet peeve.
Yes.
Where does dumping them in the dumpster rank? Like, not bagged, like you took your bagged lawnmower and just dumped the bag.
That's what I do.
That's what you do. You don't bag it up before it. Okay.
No.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
It just goes in the dumpster.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that would be on par, because then you're just filling up the dumpster with grass clippings.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, me and the Phenoms and the Lucky Lady and their parents of the Phenoms all went out to the fair on Saturday, and I met a morning drive listener as I was standing in line. And Bobby Hot Dogs would appreciate this, although maybe not, because it was rib meat in a hot dog bun, and the guy behind me goes, what do you think Jamie would think of this? And I said, Jamie,
sounds good.
Okay, all right. Man. I said, I didn't think you would like that.
I like rib meat. Was it in barbecue sauce?
No, not really. I mean, you could put it in some if you wanted some.
I would have preferred it in some barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
But, that sounds good. I like rib meat.
Okay.
Put it in a bun.
I was wrong. I guessed wrong on that.
I mean, lots of times I've had it in like a hamburger bun.
Sure, yeah.
So in a hot dog bun, I'm good.
Yeah.
Easier transportation.
I wouldn't even need to dip that in ketchup.
Okay. There you go.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.